Okay, let's call this meeting the Haysville Planning Commission to order. First item of business is a roll call.
Williams,
Here.
True,
Here.
Coleman, here, Asher,
Here.
Wallace, Rinky,
Here.
Ludd.
Next item of business is the presentation and approval of minutes of January 9th, 2025.
No issues, Debbie?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
A motion and second to approve as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions? Anything under public forum? Item 5, under new business, we have a review of a zone change from SF20 to TF3 in the area of influence.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Christina Reith, and I'm with the planning staff for the Wichita-Sedgwick County Metropolitan Area Planning Department. This is our zoning case zone 2024-00060. So there is a portion of the site, I don't know if I made mention of that. Yes, I did. So a portion of this is zoned limited commercial as well as single family 20. So they are requesting a zone change from LC and SF20 to two-family residential district. This is a little bit over 55 acres in size and located south of West 55th Street and east of South Meridian. It's currently in use as an agricultural field. The applicant has indicated that they intend to use this site for duplex development. The portion that is zoned limited commercial already allows duplexes. It allows multifamily development for up to 75 dwelling units per acre. Should the zone change request be approved, TF3 allows for a different minimum lot area, width, maximum height, and setback requirements. For further details, there is a table listed in your staff report on that. However, the setback requirements that I mentioned, those are for properties not along any county arterial streets. So since West 55th Street and South Meridian are classified as county arterial streets, there will be a 100-foot setback from each of those streets. But from there, any of the interior lots will have the ones that are listed in your table. The applicant does intend to annex this property into the city of Wichita. There are properties located east and south that are within the city, and so they have not been developed as of yet. Some are for single family and some are for two-family development, and so there will be just an overall extension of municipal services from the city of Wichita, such as water and sewer. The character of the neighborhood is generally mixed in nature. We have agricultural, low-density residential, and an institutional use. So across 55th Street South, we have the school, and that is on SF15 within the city of Haysville. To the south is single-family residential in the city of Wichita. As you guys may recall, last year the property owner to the south requested a zone change to two-family residential, and ultimately withdrew the application. I believe that was denied, or the city of Haysville recommended denial for that planning application. That was zone 2024-007. They submitted a new application 600 feet south of that for two-family residential, and it was approved. To the east, we have single family in the city of Wichita. And then to the west, we have limited commercial as well, so SF20, and those are in use as agricultural fields in unincorporated Sedgwick County. This is not platted. Platting will be required prior to the issuance of building permits. There are no zoning cases associated with this property. Skipping ahead here to the conformance to plans and policies. The requested zone change is in conformance with the Wichita-Sedgwick County Community Investments Plan. If you look at, page 9 of your staff report, it has the Wichita Future Growth Concept Map, and it shows it to be within the city of Haysville urban area of influence. So plans that are governed by the city of Haysville are analyzed below. So there's the South Wichita Haysville Area Plan, which was in conjunction with the city of Haysville as well as the city of Wichita and unincorporated Sedgwick County. The future land use map identifies the area to be residential in low density. And then the city of Haysville has a South Meridian corridor plan, and it identifies the site as also appropriate for low-density residential. Planning staff recommends that the zone change request be approved. This recommendation is based on the golden rules that are applied to all of our zoning cases. I just want to make a quick note. This was approved earlier on consent, or it was, sorry, the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission recommended approval of this application earlier today. Should the Planning Commission here recommend denial for this application, it will automatically go to the Board of County Commissioners. However, it will force a supermajority vote, meaning instead of a simple majority, which is 3 of the 5 commissioners recommending approval, or sorry, voting for approval for a zone change, it requires 4 of the 5 commissioners. I did receive some public comment after this report was submitted to everyone. There were 2 comments via email. And they were in opposition to the duplex development, citing traffic and the amount of density in the area. And then Ms. Hogan here also had a phone call that was relayed to me, also in opposition to the requested zone change. Some of the site photos are listed, or they're in the back on page 13, just to give you some context of where the subject site is located. And with that, I will stand for questions. Thank you.
Yes, the house that's on the very corner there, what happened with it?
So I just had a conversation with the applicant about this, and she can confirm this, but it is his intention that it will remain, it is the applicant's intention that it will remain his residence,
Okay.
his private residence as a single-family residence.
Oh, I see, okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you. I don't have anything up here, but is anybody else here to speak on this topic? Any other discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll move we recommend approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to recommend approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And I abstain. Next item under new business is a conditional use application to construct a new tower for a wireless communication facility at 200 West Grand. The Kansas Supreme Court has defined the role of planning commission as a quasi-judicial function to protect the rights of all parties involved and in order to create an opportunity for everyone to speak their opinions, present information. To assist the planning commission in reaching a decision, the fact-finding procedure we use is available by paper by the door. We now formally open the public hearing regarding the conditional use permit to construct a new tower for a wireless communication facility at 200 West Grand Avenue. Have any planning commissioners had any outside context regarding this case?
No.
Do any members of the commission have any conflict of interest in this case?
No.
No.
Has the secretary received any written or electronic communications in this matter?
Only was in the staff report.
Please present.
So in your staff report, you have all the related maps, photos, and documents for this case, as well as a copy of the public hearing notice, which I do have a correction on. That was published December 19th, 2024, not January 13th, as it's listed in the packet. But the applicant, AT&T, is requesting a conditional use to construct a new 150-foot tall tower for a wireless communication facility at 200 West Grand. The site is zoned light commercial, and it's used for government office buildings currently. The site is just under 2 acres in size, and the tower will be placed on a leased area that is 90 foot by 50 feet. And the leased area is located in the northwest corner of the site, and that area is currently vacant. Wireless communication facilities require conditional use approval in the light commercial district. The applicant is also required to submit a wireless communication facility application, which is subject to administrative approval. This tower will be a monopole structure, and it will be surrounded by a 6 foot tall fence. The subject property was platted in 1976 as the Grand Addition to Haysville, and there are no known zoning cases associated with the site. Lease agreement was also approved by City Council on November 12th, 2024, between AT&T and the City of Haysville for the lease area. Surrounding properties are generally light commercial with some single family to the south. For this conditional use, we had 9 different considerations that were taken into account when reviewing the application. The first being access and traffic load and/or flow. Access to the facility will be via the proposed 20-foot access easement off of Campbell Drive. This easement overlaps with the existing northwest driveway on the parent parcel, and it wraps around to the east side of the lot of the lease area. Campbell Drive is a paved 2-lane collector road. There's no anticipated increase in traffic load, but there is minor concern for traffic flow as the shared northwest driveway is the main access point for city staff and emergency vehicles. This concern will the applicant should have very minor need to access the facility after it's constructed though. Our second consideration was noise, light, and odor, and there's no anticipated increase in odor, dust, smoke, noise, vibration, or light from this facility. We also took into consideration screening and security fencing, which the applicant plans to install a 6-foot tall faux stone composite panel fence to screen all accessory equipment from the public right-of-way and other property, and they will also have a 20-foot wide latch gate for secure access. Our fourth consideration was parking, and no additional parking is going to be required. We also considered services. Water, sewer, and natural gas are not needed. Electricity will be provided by Evergy, and communications will be provided by a local fiber company. That company has not yet been determined. Our sixth consideration was public health and safety, which there's no anticipated impact on either. Our seventh was the adequacy of the facility and lot size, and we deem it accurate, and the site plan shows the anticipated layout. Our eighth consideration was signs, and the applicant is not requesting any signs at this time. And then our ninth consideration is reviewed by fire marshal, and the Sedgwick County Fire District 1 has reviewed and approved the conditional use. We also looked at setbacks, easements, and equipment cabinets. The site plan shows that all setbacks will be met, as well as there are no existing easements on the parent parcel that will affect the lease area. The applicant has proposed the location of 4 different equipment areas in their site plan. One of these areas will house at least 1 equipment box. There's no details on what will be in the future equipment location areas, but the applicant is only allowed 4 equipment cabinets per wireless communication facility. Staff is recommending approval of the conditional use based on the following conditions. All requirements of Appendix E, Section 505 shall be met, and that is the city's code on wireless communication facilities. The tower shall be a monopole design that is colored and finished to be as unobtrusive as possible, and the site shall be developed in general conformance with the approved site plans. All improvements shall be completed before the facility becomes operational. The applicant shall obtain FFA approval regarding objects affecting navigable airspace and impacts to terminal instrument procedures for the proposed wireless communication facility, and shall comply with all conditions of FFA approval. The site shall be developed and operated in compliance with all federal, state, and local rules and regulations. And finally, if the zoning administrator finds that there's a violation of any of these conditions, in concurrence with the deputy administrator, they can declare the conditional use null and void. And we recommended approval because the requested conditional use is in conformance with the City of Haysville's comprehensive plan and the 2023 land use plan. On the land use map in the packet, it shows that this land is for public/semi-public uses, which a cell tower would fall into, and also that we don't see any negative impact from the proposed development. The applicant is here for questions, and I can also stand for them as well.
You wish to speak?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah, just quickly.
Yeah. State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, my name is Glenn Clockey, and I am with Network Real Estate. We represent AT&T, and we do all their site acquisitions for them in Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois. So this particular tower is, as she stated, it's going to be a 150-foot monopole. The equipment that she spoke of in the lease area, which is gonna be fenced off by a solid Simtech fence. This tower will be built for additional carriers. So AT&T will be at the top. If anybody else comes along, such as Verizon or T-Mobile, wants to co-locate on a tower, we pretty much have to let them on there per your ordinance. Those separate equipment boxes are for them. AT&T will only have one space in that lease area. The rest are just showing future. This site is something that AT&T really needs. It's gonna significantly improve AT&T's coverage in Haysville. We have a huge hole here that needs to be filled. This site will cover about a 5-foot radius a 5-mile radius for AT&T, which will.
It's much better.
Yeah, 5 feet, it wouldn't be worth the investment. But yeah, 5-mile radius, maybe a little further. It is designed to tie into some existing sites, so it will fill in a lot of holes that AT&T is experiencing right now in Haysville. So we're asking for approval, and I want to thank the city for working with us on this tower, and thank you for your time tonight. And I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions for the applicant?
Is there any environmental concerns, wind speed concerns, anything like that?
No, none at all. The traffic, you want to address traffic, there is no traffic once these towers are built. It takes from start to finish, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks. We do understand the sensitive nature that we're dealing with the police department and the city hall. I am working with the mayor to make sure that schedules we do pre-construction meetings. Everything is worked out before we start, so the contractors know where to stage everything. We will not be in your way.
What kind of wind speed is it rated for?
It's rated for, I want to say 125-mile wind speed with a 1/2-inch radial ice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now's the time for any member of the public to speak. I have Daniel. State your name and address again for the record, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Daniel Sparacino. I'm here on behalf, I'm an attorney at Stinson LLP here in Wichita. One of our clients is SBA Communication Towers, which actually operates a 150-foot monopole tower about 955 feet east of here. And so basically I'm speaking here today to kind of extend an olive branch out to AT&T. We've had a very long business relationship with them with over 6,000 towers that they co-locate on. And, our tower is currently located in a light industrial zoning district, which seems a bit more appropriate for a placement of towers rather than a light commercial district, which has a maximum height for all structures of 45 feet. And the existing tower that we have was built in 2008 by T-Mobile, later acquired by SBA, which we have maintained since 2012. Currently, T-Mobile and Verizon co-locate on that tower, and from 2014 to 2020, AT&T actually rented space on our tower at the same height that they have marked off on the proposed site, 140 feet. For reasons unknown to us, they never installed their equipment, never took steps to provide service from that tower. But our current tower is up to date, and we have that space still remaining open for them. So I just kind of want to extend this olive branch out to them. No, we are open to negotiating that lease rather than going through the hurdles of building a new tower. In 2023, we signed a master lease agreement with them. So the framework for a deal is already in place. Moving to my last point, this is just an issue I noticed with some of their filings. Regarding the height variance, I didn't see any filings, which I could entirely be wrong. I apologize if I'm wasting your time bringing this point up, but the maximum height for light commercial is 45 feet. I didn't see any application for a variance. And based on Chapter 16A, Article 1004, I have a difficult time seeing how AT&T could possibly satisfy the requirements for a variance to get this to go through. So with that, I will again extend that olive branch out and stand here for questions.
So you'd prefer they be on your equipment rather than their own?
I'm not saying to deny the tower based on any co-location. We've made several overtures to them and haven't heard anything back, so SBA asked me to come here and just let them know we're still interested in working with them.
Any other questions for the public?
I might have some questions for the other gentleman. We can bring them back up after.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mind?
I was just wondering if you had any feedback on that, both on the variance requirement over 45 feet and why AT&T just wouldn't want to co-locate on the existing tower instead of putting up a new one.
The co-location answer is that it's been looked at multiple times. I don't know what's going back and forth between AT&T and SBA, and that's, my job is to acquire a new site. There are some ground leasing issues there that I know were huge hurdles. I think that was part of what stopped us from going there. So we were instructed to come find a new site. As far as the variance for the height, if there is one that's needed, that, we'll talk with Caitlin. Is that something that we were,
Appendix E, I'm sure, section 505 for the wireless communication facilities. We have it in here that wireless facilities that do not comply with the district's maximum height restrictions can be allowed as a special use, which would be what this process is.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
so just to go on to the tower thing, there's a lot of times that the towers just don't line up. And, we can talk all day that the tower companies want everybody on their towers. Sometimes it just doesn't work. We do a lot of business with SBA, so that's just something that sometimes it just doesn't line up for one reason or another. So
Any more
it's
questions?
not intentional, trust me.
Any more questions for the applicant?
No,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Anything you want to rebut out of that?
I did forget one point. I understand that the ground leasing was an issue earlier. However, SBA has let me know that they believe they figured out a path forward to renegotiate that in a mutually beneficial way. But outside of that, I have no real rebuttal. Again, I'm here trying to continue that business relationship. So thank you all for your time. I do appreciate it.
Thank you. Public comment portion of the public hearing is now closed. The floor is open to commissioners' comments.
I wish we had more information on why they're not using the existing tower. I hate to see another one go up if there's space on that one. But I assume there's a good reason.
Well, either way, it's for us to decide.
Right.
If it's from a business standpoint, not in their interest to use that other pole, and this is the avenue they've chosen, is whether we want a new pole there or not. That's the question in front of us.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I don't know, is really our purview. Any other comments or concerns? Is there a motion?
I don't see a compelling reason not to put it up, so I will move that we recommend the approval of the tower.
I'll second that.
The motion and second to recommend approval of the tower with stipulations. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? No old business, no correspondence or off agenda. Next meeting date?
February 13th.
Okay.
Right before Valentine's Day.
You gonna bring me flowers?
Absolutely.
Good. Item 9.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a second.
A motion second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, everybody.